just say this. Isn't it a first world problem that you're having to sue over women won't wax your tallywhacker?
All right, this will be the third and final part to this Alex Jones, Jessica Yaniv interview. I kind of fast forward from, I think, 1643 to right here, because he kind of was talking about some merging with computers. All right, we can get past that. Everyone knows, if you know anything about Alex Jones, he's kind of into that. So we'll continue with this, and we'll see what he's got to say.
What about some of these other articles? I mean, describe to me, where are you? You say you're in a bathroom, or is that fake too? Where you're taking photos of women or young women inside bathrooms.
That photo that you actually referred to was taken literally like the day that I switched my my gender to legally the female.
So what? But you still got male genitalia. You can call yourself a ham sandwich, but doesn't negate the fact that you still have, a penis and testicles. So, again, she's trying to justify this. So,
I was stupid and I shared that on a group. I actually shared it on a group that I kind of knew I would get attacked, but I did it anyway because I was stupid. What essentially happened with that is what you see there. If people took it and it was something like called the rant room, if I remember correctly.
Hey, so did you tweet this right here?
Nope. Nope, not at all.
But you did take the photos.
Why would I? That's the thing.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're familiar. Are you familiar with the work I do?
I am.
So why did you decide to come on here? Because let me tell you, nobody on the left, or whatever you want to call it, will come on here. They come on Tucker's show, and I just want to hear what people have to say.
Because, I'm not ashamed of who I am, and that's why I watch your show, and that's why I thought, you know what, I'm going to come on.
She watches her show? His show? But she's left? That's interesting. When it comes to Alex Jones, his audience is very... There's a lot of people who watch a show that isn't exactly how the news media might describe it, far right, crazy, and all that. There's a lot of people that apparently like her, or people in her situation listen to his show. So that's just kind of interesting, knowing that she knew how he is and how he might interview her. So interesting.
On the show, because there's a lot of issues here. There's a lot of serious issues that come into play. And the most serious issue, and the reason for all these complaints is, this is not about waxing. This is not essentially about gender-affirming care. This is about the ability for someone to refuse service to anyone that they want because of what they want, even if that person belongs to a protected class. For example, if you have a cop that walks into a donut shop, and the donut shop owner says, "No, I don't want to serve you because you're a cop," that would technically be...
Sure, that's wrong, but it's not. It's not if the cop walked in and said, "Wax my male genitals, I'm a woman," that would be a little different.
But okay, let me ask you this: what's your perspective on being rejected for an arm wax? Like literally something that is sticking out there, everyone sees it, it's not hidden in your pants.
Okay, before he answers that question, just an arm wax shouldn't be a problem regardless of what gender. Now, again, for whatever reason, the proprietor of the establishment or the person performing that service feels uncomfortable anyway, should the government get involved and force that person to do it? I don't agree with that.
What's your
But if the Vietnamese women have had one man they've been with, I mean, women, even if a woman's a slut, she doesn't just randomly want guys to pull their ding-dong out. They want to be involved. They want to be in charge. They want to be in control. It's a power thing. To make a woman shave your testicles and wax your ding-dong is abusive in my view.
Exactly. It's. I think Alex made a very good point without him even knowing it. I think that Jessica is trying to pull a power move on society, stating that, why don't you do this? How dare you not do it? This is a human rights abuse, which it's not. But herein lies the issue that this transgender woman that's really a guy who still has male genitalia is forcing her will upon other people to perform a service that some people might not be comfortable with. And to force a woman to do something that she's not comfortable with, that's going above and beyond what I would agree with.
So come back and let me get your take on that. Jessica Yaniv is a transgender, male to female, and he's coming on the show, so I'm being nice here. But we've got a esthetician here that's also trained to be a producer, doing a great job. Becca, and she was explaining that what you're trained to do. She says she's done, waxing of men. Men get that. It's totally different. You got to be trained. That's a whole other issue. She's going to pop in a moment. But what about these articles that say you're just a predator that wants to get around young girls? What about exclusive 15-year-old?
Yeah, that's the other question that's been brought up that Alex has just stated there, is that people fear that Jessica, in particular, is a predator, just using her, when she claims that she transitioned, well, she doesn't really transition, basically. She changed her gender, but hasn't transitioned to full female. She still has her, so.
Alleged victim of you supposedly speaks out. It's a big article out of the Post Millennial. You're going to these courts. You're saying these people are abusing you, not waxing you, but other people are stepping forward saying that, hey, we're being harassed by this person. What's your take on that?
One thing I want to say about the Post Millennial is it's to my understanding that the counsel, the owner of the law firm that is counsel to the respondents owns the postmillennial.com. They have published defamatory articles about me day in and day out. But I really want to get to something important here because
But that shouldn't matter. A defamatory article, I don't know if that's a legal term in Canada, but it's not necessarily libelous unless she actually files charge. I don't know how it is, but if that's the case, then that seems a little funky. But I don't know. I don't know the owner of the Post Millennial, so.
I do believe that this is important. Going back to the refusal of service, they're essentially.
Okay, right there, she just bypassed that question, and she went straight back to denial of service. Mm-hmm.
Saying that we won't do service on a man or a transgender, but transgender also means.
Let's can fast forward this.
Well, you're actually well spoken and holding your own, but I mean, a lot of times you see a crazy transgender bank robber the statistics are there, but there are a lot of autistic people and stuff that end up getting tricked when they're young to being quote other sex.
What? I don't know necessarily that's true. I haven't seen any, fact-based arguments or publications to attest to that, so I don't know about that.
Bring in Becca, who is a skin expert. That's what esthetician. She wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Hey, Jessica. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
Hi. So, working as an esthetician for 10 years, and I actually worked in San Francisco, so I had a lot of male clientele. Gay people, straight people, transgender. I've done it all, and I know I was actually pretty rare in the industry. There's not a lot of people that do that type of service. I'm just wondering if it's an actual discrimination issue or if you just encountered someone who was not trained in that service. I mean, it is quite different. There's a lot of different training involved. Had you considered that?
Wow, good question there. Goes to the questions of specific training. You just don't, let's say you're an esthetician and the only thing you give, women bikini waxes, completely waxes in the nether region, and you've never done a male. and if a transgender woman comes in that still has, male parts, and if you say no, and then she raises a stink about it, but if you say yes to it, but having not trained and you injure this person, then you're in trouble. There is a no-win situation here, a catch-22, if you will.
Well, I've approached 16 different places asking for waxing, and every single one of them refused service. Now, I do want to state, I do have an expert witness joining me for my hearing on the 26th. That is an uncontested hearing that's clumped with 3 people.
But hold on. We got to have you back on. You're on the War Room today. I think Becca should go on with Owen Schroyer to keep this discussion going. Jessica, let me just say this. Isn't it a first world problem that you're having to sue over women won't wax your...
Yes. This is the definition of a first world problem.
Your tallywhacker.
There's one really important fact here that I want to bring up, and I want Becca to affirm this, that a Brazilian is not gender assigned.
It's not? That's news to me, Jessica.
Meaning it's not implicitly female.
Jessica, would you wax my butt?
I'm sorry, what?
What a Brazilian wax means, what a Brazilian wax is a wax from the belly button down to the anus, and is removing
I can't do this anymore. Hold on. You're going to be on the War Room, right? You agreed to come on with Owen Schroyer. You're coming up in a couple hours on there, right?
I'm sorry?
You're going to be on Owen Schroyer's show.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Becca, you want to come on with him so you can finish up today?
I would love to. Yes,
she's on to be on with Owen Schroyer.
Yeah.
What time are you on?
I believe 2:30 my time.
Okay, so that's 4:30 today. This is going to continue. Yeah. Infowars.com/show. Lord Moncton's coming up. Thank you, Becca.
I think that's the end of that. I don't think we need to go any more. But as you can see, I think what Alex Jones did here was a very good, dare I say, semi-unbiased interview here. Both Jessica and Alex weren't yelling at each other. She got her point across. He got his point across. They agreed on some things, disagreed on many things others. And they brought I guess it was like an intern producer or whatever, who used to be an esthetician, or still is, I don't remember. And she asked a really good question. So I think in my personal opinion here is that we live in strange times, and you can't force someone to wax the private areas, even if they're trained or not trained, and expect some sort of, oh, I can't do that, ma'am, sir, whatever the case may be. I'm not comfortable in doing this. You can't force someone to do something that intimate, even if there's laws, saying you must do this because you perform this service, And I know what someone will going to say, what about a gay wedding cake? Same thing. Would you really want someone to force somebody to bake a cake, for you that they didn't want to bake to begin with? They're not going to put their heart and soul into it. And I think this is just a first world problem that I think we have it too good in both countries, in Canada and the United States, where we have to make up things to get mad about and sue each other over about. Because if this was like, the Oregon Trail, half of us would be dying of cholera, and one of us would be missing a leg and whatever. We're missing the big picture here. We're creating problems for ourselves that don't need to be created. And kudos to Alex Jones for this interview, and kudos to Jessica coming on there and actually giving a pretty good interview. So, wish that one question she would answer, but whatever. All right, I think that's about it. Call it a day.